You're hearing a lot. Oh, it's dry out there. I think a lot of people are really praying for rain right now.
It is. I'm just looking at our tower cam here. We got some blowing dust right here,
Ooh.
even in town. It is very hazy looking off to the west here. So we really need some rain.
Do you remember that where topsoil has been, in spring? Usually, I mean, you have enough. There wasn't much snow this winter, so to me, this is pretty unique here in March.
It is. We had kind of similar conditions back in 2015. And then somewhere stashed away on a computer, I got a time lapse of a little dust storm that rolled through.
Wow.
In early April there in 2015, and then we had this crazy deluge in May, and we got way too much rain in one shot. But I think May ended up with almost 8 inches of rain that month. So unfortunately, we made up for it quickly.
Yeah, it's one of those things I always say, and I think my father's always said this: you pray for rain, then you don't turn off the spigot, and that's always kind of the scary thing too.
Yeah, we live in this place where we have all these averages, but we're never really average. We're either above or below in some department, and then when you just do the math, you get these things that are average, but we're very rarely average.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and I think. Well, even look at the temperature swing that's supposed to go into tonight into tomorrow. It just this is life living here in the upper Midwest, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is. Tonight into tomorrow, and then back at the end of the week, it swings. We're back up into the 70s by Friday. This is just you get these where it's like, oh, really hot and then cool, but it's kind of weird to have it also double swing where it swings right back. And we're going to get really warm again for the end of the week.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll probably grab Rusty Halverson in the hallway here before we get to the top of the hour, kind of talking about the egg thing. But egg is such a big deal. Are you hearing from a lot of farmers? I'm sure they want to know because they don't mind scratching some dirt, yet they don't want to bring up too much. And then, of course, they'd like to seed and then get a little rain. But if they get a lot of rain, then it's going to I guess delay that process a little bit. And I'm sure they're looking at the temperature too before they put in the seed in the ground.
Yeah, we're still, our average last frost is kind of mid-May-ish. So we're still a bit a ways.
Yeah.
But it is. I've seen some people out there, kind of tilling some stuff up, and I'm like, oh, we have a lot. On average, April is our windiest month, so it's not uncommon to be breezy, but of course this dry and breezy is a very bad combination.
April is windier than May usually, huh?
Yeah, April on average is our windiest month. Some of it is, what happens around here is when the fields do open up and you start working the fields, you get little pockets of differential heating because this field over here has got this nice black dirt, and then over here, maybe it's some other kind of ground cover or something like that, and one field will heat up more than the other or some other surface, and that creates a little pocket of wind, and it just adds on to the wind. I always tell people, in May or in April, whatever the computer model says, you're going to have to bump it up a little bit more in that wind department just because of that differential heating.
Yeah, I've heard you and Tom Szymanski talk about that a lot, and I guess I've talked to weathermen over the years, the meteorologists over the years, and I guess wasn't until I got a little bit older that you can really tell the difference, right? Where you figured out, man, farming around here affects the temperature, and early snowfall can for the whole year too.
Oh yeah, those because even the thermometer up there at Fargo by the airport, there are farm fields right near that thermometer, and sometimes you without even driving up there, you can go, I bet they tilled that field today because we are a couple of degrees warmer than I was thinking it was going to be. Yeah, it is. It's especially it is because our soil is that. I mean, it is that super dark soil, and that dark soil just soaks up the sun. It's crazy.
Well, and you're right on that because if you haven't flown in a while, well, over a year, ironically, but you really do tell that when you're flying over just what a big solar panel this can be.
Yep, yeah, it is really quite a difference, and sometimes it's especially actually on those days where the wind is really light, because you will get this little bubble of heat, and then it can kind of move right over the thermometer, and you'll get these weird little spikes in the thermometer because the instrumentation has gotten more sensitive, and it picks up some of those spikes. Particularly the thermometer up at Hector is especially it's a higher grade thermometer than a lot of the other ones around.
Rob Kupek with us, Chief Meteorologist at KVRR Television, and they're going to join us again to help us out with storm coverage throughout the spring, hopefully not too deep in the summer, but that can start picking up any time, and it's amazing some of the storms that we've had. I drove through Tennessee on my way for a little vacation in Florida, and man, and it's what's scary about that. They get a lot of rain. People don't realize how hilly it is around Nashville in that area. Going to Chattanooga, that can be just really dangerous with a lot of mudslides and that type of thing.
Yeah, when that's the one thing. When we always joke around here, that you get a flash flood warning. It's more of a flash pond warning because we don't have any kind of terrain that makes water come cascading down hills and wipes away houses. But, you get standing water and it blocks up streets. And, certainly if you have basements and all, it can do some damage. But it's very different than that kind of flash flooding. You're right.
Yeah, well, it's hopefully we don't have any of that. That's one thing. We can never have the best of both worlds and have that Goldilocks of just right sometimes. It's very dry, but I think every spring we go through where we're not having to talk about sandbags is always a good thing.
Yeah, it is. I was taking a walk down by the river today, and you're like, it is so weird to see at this time of the year. It's not. The river's like at 15 something. It's just odd to see the river at this time of the year that low.
Yeah,
it's not even like bank full. It's down a few feet.
The fact that we had such little snow, is that problematic for a lot of people you're talking to? Agriculture, I know there's a few people who said, it would have been nice to have a little bit more. I know for our lake, where it seems like it gets lower and lower every year, too.
Yeah, most of the time our winters are actually kind of dry, because even when we get snow, it tends to not have much in the way of water content.
Okay.
The March snow usually gets a little bit wetter, but it's usually those, kind of spring showers that kind of set things up. So usually if we have a winter with not a lot of snow, I'm not overly worried. You always kind of like, well, let's see what happens. But usually, spring, it'll start to turn. Some springs it doesn't start to turn, and this so far is one of those springs that has not started to turn. So we are in need of some rain, which is weird to say also at the end of March. No,
that's for sure. And it doesn't look like, according to you and Tom, doesn't look like anything anytime soon either, does it?
No, it does not. There's tomorrow, a flurry, a snow shower, certainly not out of the question. And, next Monday, I don't know. One of the computer models has this idea of maybe like an isolated thunderstorm next Monday. But between here and there, a lot of wind and not much, nothing. It's all dry, really. Yeah,
unfortunately. Well, thank you again for being a part of our team here. We do appreciate what you and your staff. I know you and Marshall, the whole gang, will be with us whenever we need you. Certainly, we can't have Tutal be here 24/7, although it seems like he is, but like many of us. But we do appreciate you helping us out throughout the spring and summer.
Yeah, we make a good combo team for sure, and hopefully. Don't take this personally. Hopefully, I won't have to talk to you at all very much this summer.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's just a nice. See, if we ever get to the point where it's just nice and sunny, 75 during the day, and then a quarter inch of rain overnight once in a while when we need it, that'd be nice, right?
Some shower, garden variety thunderstorms. Keep everything happy and healthy, and not taking the roof off a place.
That happened when I was in Florida. It's crazy. So it worked out pretty good. All right.
Yep.
Very nice, Rob. Thanks so much for your time.
Sure. You have a great afternoon, Derek. Thanks.
You bet. Rob Kupek with us again. He is the Chief Meteorologist at KVRR Television, helping us out here with all our coverage on the mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. All right, let's get you set up. We got a little Twins trivia. We're going to get you to be a qualifier. Yeah, a qualifier for a big drawing for that home opener for the Minnesota Twins on Thursday, April 8th. And coming up also, Thursday morning, starting at 7 a.m. until they're gone, we're going to get you ready for everything going on with the Twins opener with giant sunflower seeds, a nice bag of them, and Twin sticker, a KFGO Twin sticker, and other stuff going on. So, yeah, we want to get you in the mood for that big opener coming up. We got a trivia question for you, a little Twins trivia for you to be a qualifier, and that is, back in 1968, a Minnesota Twins player, well, he played all 9 positions in a game. Who was that player? We'll get you that answer, get you qualified if you know the answer. This is The Drive. Darek Hanson in for Dan Michaels on KFGO.
You're listening to The Drive with Dan Michaels.